We're all going to get old. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, this is a conversation for you. It's time to talk about 3 harsh truths you need to understand in order for you to make the plans you need to make to age on your terms. So I wanted to make this video because I saw firsthand what happened to my family members who didn't understand these truths. Because if I can spare you from the same fate, that's the whole purpose of this channel. So have a seat and get ready for some tough love. Hi, I'm Vicky. Welcome back to my channel. Whether you're here intentionally or stumbled upon me by chance, I'm thrilled to have you here. So in this first one, the truth is, nobody is going to save you. Your future, how you're going to live your life, and how you can even eventually receive help all depends on you and the plans that you make. You have to create the estate planning documents that are going to allow people to jump in and help you. And you also have to communicate with your family and be truthful and honest about your needs. And an example of this is my aunt and uncle on my husband's side. They were just the sweetest people you ever wanted to meet, and so lively into their 90s. And they hid a lot of things from the family and weren't very truthful. So there were some medical issues, there were some cognitive issues that we were not aware of. So we did our usual trip here, trip there, but they didn't have any kids. So this exacerbated it. They were pretty much alone in this world, and they kind of tried to stay alone. And then one day my uncle went into the bank. He wasn't quite himself, a little bit confused about the dollar amount that he was putting on the check. The bank teller told the manager told a friend who was a professional conservator, and fast forward, the family is now in a battle with strangers who are trying to take control over our family's lives. In the end, we lost. They were successful in gaining conservatorship over my aunt and uncle, and we were basically cut out of their lives. So we were not made aware of my aunt's passing because we were on the wrong side of the family. So her family was made aware of her passing. Next time we saw my uncle was actually at his funeral. So to avoid that, get your paperwork in order, get your agents in order. Don't get to the end of your life and lose control over your life because you didn't want to start planning for the end. When it comes to aging, procrastination is your biggest hurdle. So many people put off planning for the future, waiting for the perfect time, but that perfect time may never come. The harsh truth is, the perfect time to plan for your future is now, while you still have the mental ability to understand what you need to do and what you need to have in place in order to move forward. And I'm going to use an example of my aunt, who was a single person, no children, and very private. She didn't talk about any of her personal information, not even with family. Towards the end of her life, she had some health issues that she didn't share with anyone. And I think we all thought she would be there forever because she was a nurse, and she was basically what we call doctor nurse. She was our go-to for everything. She was our sounding board, our words of wisdom. And unfortunately, she passed unexpectedly without a will. And because she was so private, none of us knew what she would have wanted done with her stuff, or how she would want her final resting place, or where she wanted to be interred. That's not the biggest problem of her being private and her procrastination for planning for the end of her life. The biggest problem was, because she died without a will, we had to go to probate, and going to probate to try to figure out what we're going to do with her property and stuff, we discovered that some unscrupulous realtor had created a will, forged her name, and her name was completely misspelled, and it was signed, dated, and notarized 4 days after she had passed away. And yes, we had to go to court and defend ourselves against a phony will. There was nothing that we could do to prevent that. Not even the local police would even intervene for forgery and fraud, stating it was a civil matter and we needed to go to small claims court. So months and months of lawyers and back and forth fighting a phony will, and lots of money later, putting my mom and my grandfather, her next of kin, through so much pain and suffering. from not only losing her, but now being in a battle for her stuff. It just goes to show you that procrastination is the worst thing that you can do. If you try to put off for tomorrow, tomorrow may never come, and you're leaving your family behind to deal with pain and so much suffering that was very, very needless. Before I started this channel, I actually started with a blog, and that was one of the first stories. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link to that blog in the description below. Hey there! If you haven't already done so, now would be a good time to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And another harsh truth is health issues have no tomorrow. And we can sit around and we can try to wish them away as much as we want, but they're going to rear their ugly head whenever they want to rear their ugly head. I bring this up because, once my husband exercised the medical power of attorney over his parents and fired all their worthless doctors to get people who would actually work with us, we were finally able to get a diagnosis for my mother-in-law's health issues that they hid from us, but then they could no longer hide from us after we started spying and being in their face more. And we knew something was wrong. And, the excuses that we were getting just really didn't make much sense. Once we got down to it, we were able to discover that she had a condition called white matter disease. And the conditions are these: memory problems, short-term memory loss, the inability to recall recent events, being stuck in the past, confusion, problems with thinking clearly or understanding complex tasks. This could also include the inability to remember how to do things they previously performed well. Difficulty with executive functions, challenges with planning, organizing, and problem solving. Gait and balance issues, difficulty walking, unsteady gait, or balance problems such as the inability to stand for short periods of time. Weakness in the limbs, which can affect fine motor skills and coordination. Mood swings, increased irritability or sudden changes in mood. Depression or apathy, reduced interest in activities or persistent low mood. Slowed processing speed, slower thinking or reaction times. Difficulty with concentration, trouble maintaining attention or staying focused on the task at hand. Once the neurologist finally got to, and we had to go through multiple opinions to finally get to a final diagnosis, he let us know that the progression was really advanced, that there was some underlying health condition that was probably ignored decades in the past for it to get this progress. Things that progress it are hypertension. Chronic hypertension can damage the small blood vessels in the brain, leading to changes in the white matter. Diabetes. Diabetes can affect blood vessel health, leading to damage in the brain's white matter. High cholesterol. Elevated cholesterol levels can contribute to vascular damage, impacting the brain's white matter. And all three of these potential causes were present in my mother-in-law's medical records sent to the neurologist who performed the third opinion. My mother-in-law loved to tell everybody that she was in perfect health. And her example of perfect health is, I haven't been diagnosed with anything and I'm not taking any medication. And how she did that was she avoided going to the doctor, and she came up with an excuse for any and everything that could be wrong. Even when she fell right in front of me and told me she didn't fall, she just decided she wanted to sit. But nobody decides they want to sit on a curb in the rain. So you really need to take control of your health and not ignore it, because when you ignore it, it will come back to bite you. I felt that a little bit of tough love was needed because this is a really, really important subject. We're all going to get old. When I say get old is every single day we get older. Some of us may live to be only 60 or 70, but some of us could live into our hundreds. So the more planning that you do today, the better off those later years are going to be. We cannot think that we're invincible and nothing bad will ever happen. We can't think that we're just in such stellar health that nothing could ever take us down. We have to make the what if plans if we want to age on our terms. So if you made it this far with me, thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts or questions or can think of any other harsh truths that we need to talk about, drop them in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video.